Bart got rejected by every single college he applied to, so he chose to lie to his father and secretly created a fake university. However, this impulsive decision ended up bringing in nearly $10 million in tuition. The place was originally just an abandoned mental institution. No teachers, no classrooms. How was Bart going to pull this off? Before opening the school, to make it more convincing, Bart asked his computer genius friend Nick to build a fake university website. The next morning, his father received a letter. It was the fake acceptance letter. Bart took the letter and pretended he didn't know what it was as he opened it. Then he started acting.
Dear Bartleby, congratulations, you've been accepted!
Oh.
I got in!
Oh, thank God.
I got in!
Thank God.
He even tripped and fell out of excitement. This convinced his mother even more that he'd been accepted. But his father was a bit suspicious. He'd heard of Harmon University, but never heard of South Harmon Institute of Technology. Bart quickly explained that it was Harmon's sister school, and the rankings were basically the same. His father still wasn't fully convinced until he opened the school's website. Then he finally believed it. He stayed calm on the outside, but was incredibly proud of his son on the inside. His happy father pulled out a check for $10,000 for the first semester's tuition. He even said he'd double the monthly living allowance. Bart had never had this much money before. But before he could even celebrate, he heard his father say, "I'm driving you to school on the first day. I want to see the campus." Bart completely panicked. He knew the school didn't exist. To keep the lie going, Bart had no choice but to dig deeper. He found Nick and gathered a few other friends who also failed to get into college. They discovered an abandoned mental institution near Harmon University, so they pooled their money and rented it out. The inside was absolutely filthy, especially the bathrooms. They couldn't afford to hire workers for renovations, so they did everything themselves. The work was exhausting, but they were happy. They spent the entire summer there. The next day was move-in day. They had everything set up. It looked pretty legit. They thought they could fool his father, but then his dad asked to meet the dean. With no other option, Bart confessed everything to Nick's uncle and asked him to pretend to be the dean for one day. The uncle used to be a professor at Harmon University, so playing the dean shouldn't be a problem. Finally, the first day of school arrived. Nick went to register at the real Harmon University, and Bart's parents drove him to the fake one. Seeing many other parents dropping off their kids put their minds at ease. Of course, those people were all hired actors. The extras were very professional. His parents didn't suspect a thing, though since it was a hastily assembled fake university, a few hiccups were inevitable.
What the hell is that?
Oh.
Dad's just surge of collegiate energy. It's college for you. Take a left up here for the dorm room, Dad.
Oh, can you hang on a second? I just really gotta go to the bathroom a minute, you know? I just want
No. It's the men's room. You can't go in there.
After meeting the dean, his parents were successfully fooled. The moment they left, Bart shut the school gates and began his 4-year fake college life. He thought he could just relax and have fun, and make a fake diploma when it was time to graduate. But suddenly, someone knocked on the door. Bart opened it and found a rather unusual-looking guy.
My name's Abernathy Darwin Dunlap, but you can call me ADD on account of the fact that I have ADD, which is attention deficit disorder. And you know, everyone used to think it was just an addiction to sugar when I was 6, and my mom used to cry because she thought I would never be like a fully functioning member of society like my neighbor who has Legionnaire's disease.
Bart told him this wasn't a mental institution anymore. If you need a doctor, take a ride up ahead. He assumed the guy was a patient. Just as he was about to send him away, the guy said he'd already been accepted by this school. "You have no reason to keep me out."
Did you just say you got accepted here?
Well, yeah, we all did.
What?
Bart was stunned by what he saw next. It turned out that when Nick built the website, to make it more realistic, he added a link where people could submit applications. Anyone who applied was automatically accepted. Nick assumed no one besides Bart's father would ever visit this fake school's website, but people found it. Over the summer, hundreds of underachievers had been automatically admitted. Once the gates were open, they walked in with their luggage. Bart couldn't stop them. He couldn't say it was a fake university. Otherwise, it would be all over the news by tomorrow. Through these students, Bart collected nearly $1 million in tuition. He didn't dare keep this money. If anyone found out it was a fake school, they'd all be charged with fraud. So Bart urgently called a freshman assembly. He planned to confess the truth, refund everyone's money, and send them home, as if nothing had ever happened. But one student's speech changed his mind.
When I got accepted here, it was the first time my parents ever said they were proud of me.
Bart felt it deeply. His own parents were also proud that he'd gotten into college. This completely changed his thinking.
At South Harmon, we say yes to you. We say yes to your hopes. We say yes to your dreams. We say yes to your flaws. So welcome. Grab a room, grab a friend, grab yourself. We don't give a shit. Welcome to South Harmon Institute of Technology!
When the students heard his words, they erupted in celebration. What was supposed to be a dismissal turned into an opening ceremony. His friends didn't understand his decision and blamed him for creating more trouble for himself. But he told them that all these students came here with hope, and he didn't want to let them down. But now he faced a serious problem. How was he going to run this school? And how was he going to teach them? With these questions in mind, he snuck into the real university to observe. But when he got there, he saw professors just rigidly lecturing without caring if students understood. Even worse, some classes didn't even have a teacher present. They just played recorded lectures. He was completely baffled. Watching students shuffle back and forth, he asked himself one question: what is the purpose of education? His thoughts were interrupted when his dream girl walked right past him. He immediately went after her. Through small talk, he learned that she was unhappy with the current teaching style. She loved photography and wanted to switch majors, but the school told her a photography degree wouldn't get her a diploma. That moment gave him clarity. The purpose of education is to develop each student's strengths to their fullest potential, not just to memorize information. So he decided to break the traditional education model. He had students write what they wanted to learn on the blackboard. Let everyone embrace their talents. Be your own teacher. Whatever subject they were passionate about, Bart would buy the necessary equipment and let them go all in on their strengths. Some loved cooking. Some loved meditation. Here, as long as you had a passion, you could pursue it fully. Everyone entered their own state of joy. They thought this could last forever, but the dean of the neighboring university made a complaint call and requested the education board to investigate. Even worse, he tricked all the parents of South Harmon students into coming to the school and exposed the truth in front of everyone. On top of that, because of the illegal operation, Bart was now facing prosecution. The once lively campus instantly went silent. He instinctively walked toward the classroom building and found a letter on the ground from the Department of Education. To continue operating, he had to prove the school's legitimacy. Bart's fighting spirit was instantly reignited. He submitted an application for university accreditation. If they passed the hearing, they'd become a legitimate school. On the day of the hearing, Bart brought Nick and the uncle to the Department of Education. What they didn't expect was that every single student showed up. They loved this university and wanted to fight for it themselves. To pass accreditation, they needed to meet 3 requirements: facilities, curriculum, and faculty. The neighboring dean accused them of having no library and no medical office. He said the courses had no academic value. When he brought up the classes, the students were the first to push back. These were courses they chose themselves, representing each person's dream. They argued passionately, explaining the content of every class. But the dean countered, saying the school had no teachers at all.
Faculty stand.
Every student stood up. They were their own teachers. The neighboring dean had nothing left to say, so he accused Bart of committing a crime. But in Bart's view, so-called legitimate universities were the real criminals. They judged everything by grades, denied people's dreams, stripped students of their creativity, and turned classrooms into lifeless prisons.
And I know that it is a truth that real learning took place at South Harmon. Whether you like it or not, it did. And nothing you can say or do or stamp can take that away from us, so go!
Education is meant to help people grow, not to memorize useless information, and certainly not to suffocate each person in a narrow corner. The hearing officer was moved by Bart's words. He stamped the approval without hesitation and declared Bart's school officially established. The students cheered with joy, celebrating a victory for their dreams. This brilliant movie is called Accepted.